Hey guys, so I am about to head into my dining room management class, which is why I am dressed accordingly. I don't generally dress like this on a daily basis, but so this is my uniform for dining room management's white collared dress shirt, a tie, black pants, black shoes, and your hair pulled back in some way, shape, or form. And that's fairly irrelevant to what I want to talk to you about right now, but I just thought I would mention it because it is part of culinary school. So I think lately I've felt the need to tell you guys how I got started. Like where did this whole culinary journey start? So for a long time when I was younger, the only thing I wanted to be, the only thing that I thought about and I was like, yes, I'm gonna do that, is I wanted to be a nurse or a doctor. And I was just like, yes, I'm gonna be a nurse or a doctor, and I'm gonna save people, and I'm gonna do all this awesome stuff. And that's really great, And so from ages 13 to 18, I volunteered as a TAV, which is a teenage volunteer, at St. Vincent's Hospital in Jacksonville, where we got to do a plethora of things. We got to do so many really cool things. Like one of my favorite tasks was working in pulmonary, and that was really fun. We also got to do like candy cart and a little bit of food services and other stuff, pre-admission testing, stuff like that. And the first 3 years I absolutely loved it. So ages 14, 15, whatever, until 17, really liked it. The last year that I volunteered, when I was 18, I absolutely loathed every second of it. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be in the hospital. I didn't want to, I dreaded going to work or going in to volunteer, and I just absolutely did not want any part of it. So I was like, okay, and that made me realize that I do not want to be in a hospital every day of my life for the rest of my life. So I was like, okay, nix that idea. We're not doing that. So then I was like, alrighty, well, what do I want to do? So I've been decorating cakes since I was about 9. I started. My parents were extremely encouraging. They bought me all of the tools and stuff that you need to decorate cakes. So I was like, okay, maybe God wants me to decorate cakes, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be a cake decorator. But cake decorating wasn't really paying that well. I made some side money here and there. Still do make some side money here and there baking cakes for people, but it wasn't like this is going to be a career. And so I had volunteered a lot at the local Christian school in our town. I go to church with the principal and a lot of the other workers. I had babysat the principal's granddaughter. I'd been on field trips with the principal's granddaughter, and I just really liked the atmosphere of the school. And so I was like, okay. So I went to National Fine Arts for a spoken word that I had done, and we were gone for an entire week at Nationals. And while I was there, I told my mom, I was like, maybe on Monday, so it was on a Friday, I said, on Monday, I'm going to call Miss Johnson, who's our principal, and I'm going to ask her if she maybe has a job for me, some kind of something that I can do, because I really like being around the school, and I think that would be really a great place to work until I figure out what I'm supposed to do with my life. So I'm sitting in the awards ceremony on Friday evening, not long after I told my mom that. I told my mom that earlier that day. And I get a text from none other than Miss Johnson, the school principal, and it says, I have a job. It's yours if you want it. So I started working there part-time as an aftercare teacher sort of person. And after a few months, I moved into VPK aftercare. So I was working with 3 and 4 and 5-year-olds, 3 and 4 and 5-year-olds, some 2-year-olds. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And the following year, I became a VPK assistant. And I loved that. I adore that. And so I worked in VPK with 4-year-olds, 4 or 5-year-olds. They turned 5 in the middle of the year. For a few years, and then this past year, which is my 5th year at the school, I am doing lots of different things, from media and teaching computer classes for kindergarten through 5th grade, and being with the 3-year-olds on days that they have a lot of kids. And that's a lot of fun. I love my kids. I love my 3-year-olds. I love my kindergarten through 5th grades. And so I was like, alrighty, so maybe I'm supposed to be a teacher. Maybe I should go get my CDA and I'll be a VPK teacher, and maybe that's what I'm supposed to do. And God just put this insane desire in my heart to teach, to not teach, to go to culinary school. So I just had this insane desire of, no, I want to go to culinary school. And so at first I wanted to go to culinary school so that I could eventually open my bakery / coffee shop. And that's what I really, really wanted to do. I was like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to culinary school. I'm going to graduate as a pastry chef. I'm going to open a cafe. That's what I'm going to do. And so at FSCJ, we do take a baking class, but we don't have a culinary major, but you can transfer to another school and become a culinary major. But the more that I've worked with actual food, the more I just really, really love working with real food. So that's kind of how I'm here now. So it was such a God thing, to put me in all these places and, have these work out so well. The last thing I wanted to say is I haven't really told you guys much about culinary school. We need to talk about that more. But my first day into culinary school, I'm a person who likes to know what's going to happen, and I had no idea. And so they had just relocated the kitchens, the culinary labs, from North Campus to downtown campus. And so for the first 3 or 4 weeks of school, we weren't actually in the kitchens. We were in the classrooms doing lectures and stuff like that, book learning type stuff. And one of the professors / chefs, we kind of use that interchangeably in the culinary program because most of the time we call them chefs, but they are still our professors. And so they did a combined class since we weren't doing labs. And one of them was Chef Grigsby and one of them was Chef McCool. And they were talking, and, they kind of split the lecture part. And Chef Grigsby, it did not take me long to learn that he was incredibly fluent in French. And a lot of the French influences, a lot of culinary influence is from the French. And so there's all these different words of just French, and it was very intimidating. He was extremely just, well put together and just very intimidating. Like, that's the only word I could say. And I was terrified. I was like, do they expect me to learn this French? And I don't, I've never heard most of these words, and I have no idea what they mean. And I was just very stressed out about it. Like, so then Chef McCool comes up to the board, and it's his turn for his half of the lecture. And he's kind of looking at things, and he's reading words off, and he looks at Chef Grigsby, and he goes, how do you say that word? 'Cause we don't got words like that in Alabama. And so I was like, oh, I like him. He's cool. He's not really super intimidating. I like him. And so I was worried though, because I at the time didn't realize which chef was Chef Grigsby and which chef was Chef McCool, because I knew my chef was Chef McCool, but I didn't know which one of these people in front of me was Chef McCool. So it turns out the person from Alabama was Chef McCool. And of course he was my chef, and it made me so much better because he's an immaculate teacher. He's amazing, extremely knowledgeable, knows all of these super wonderful things, is extremely experienced. He's cooked for 2 presidents. He's catered for the Olympics, so on and so forth when they were in Atlanta. All this really cool stuff, and he is just amazing. But he doesn't have that really intimidating edge to him that you're scared to approach him or scared to talk to him. He's extremely approachable. So that is sort of how I got my start in culinary school, and I look forward to talking about it more and telling you guys more about it. If you have any questions, of course, comment and let me know. Obviously answer them. Rate, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.